Justice! No! Justice!
Trust PNN has been postponed until February 4th, 2013, 9 a.m. due to bankruptcy.
For us as indigenous people, what we're seeing here today is just pure nothing but corporate greed. There was at least anywhere from, I've heard at least, anywhere from, 50 to 60 homes that were listed as far as being up for sale today. So it wasn't just us who were being affected by this corporate greed. It wasn't just us as our family being affected by corporate greed. This is the American dream being just murdered. The American dream is now murdered by these people, by these banks that are obviously more powerful than our congressmen, senators. They're more powerful than our president. And obviously they have their police force here, and they're basically trying to keep us from being any more disruptive than we have. We're a peaceful group. We've always been about peace. And I just want to say, man, I mean, for us as indigenous people, you've seen this all the time. Wells Fargo, since the beginning of Wells Fargo and these banks, how have they illegally attained indigenous lands? How can they obtain indigenous lands when we did not sell them to them? We did not sell any of our indigenous lands to these banks. None of these banks have offered us any treaties. So how can they take indigenous land? And now we as indigenous people, and we're fighters against this system, and they know that. So this is all set up by the federal government, by the state, and by Contra Costa County.
We were hoping that Wells Fargo would keep it. Somebody else bid and bought it. We took a shot. Okay, now what's going to happen is
This is my elderly father's house. 82-year-old elder in our community, which is a massive story.
But how come they still put it on auction?
God, you're telling me? Wells Fargo is evil. Wells Fargo and that Cal Western were the ones who did that to us. And those are the instruments that are used against us as people. This is our home. This has been my father's home for over 26 years. We're contesting that. We like to try to keep our home. So that's the thing. The conservator, my father's court-appointed conservator, was supposed to be making the bills. They're supposed to be using my father's monies from his retirement from Contra Costa College to be used to taking care of the estate. This is the estate. They never did that. Then it became in default because of their lax. They're not performing their duties to the best of their ability, looking after them just private small world property. It's very ugly and it's negligence and incompetence. And that's what we've been dealing with. But we're trying to save our home. It's in litigation. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, well, they want they shouldn't, just put on auction.
I do, I hope that you understand.
Yeah, we understand.
We're trying to save our home.
The bank, my bank, I had Internet Bank. They stole my ID. They stole my ID, they stole my home by recording a deed of trust. And they sold my house at the auction to a bank who don't exist. I'm in court right now trying to get my house back. I've been going through this since 2009 with the bank. Went through so the bank, I don't know what to say. They are stealing our houses, and the government's not helping us. Nobody's not helping us. The court's not listening to us. They're just taking our houses. The procedure he had today should have worked. Should have stopped the house. He had a judgment from a judge saying that Wells Fargo no longer have interest in title to his house. But they still took his house, which is illegal. So it's not over for him. We still gonna have to fight to get his house back.
We're going to be here to help.
Let's also note that this is the eve of the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King, and they're insensitive to that reality. And that man represents peace and justice.